You know, now you could just be more aware, you could be happier, you could be healthier, you could be more filled with love, you could have more wonderful people in your life, you could be more appreciating of what's in your life than you were a year ago, and therefore you would be having a better life today than you had a year ago. See, it's easy to be excited at the start of a race, right? Really, really easy to be excited. You know, when I was in high school, I was on the winter and spring track team. I know that's really hard to believe. I find it very hard to believe, too, because basically I hated running. But, you know, you had to do something, so I thought, well, okay. And, you know, it was always interesting to me how early on in the track meets, you know, it was exciting. There were parents and kids from school there, and everybody's cheering, and banners and yelling and all this stuff. But if you were a distance runner, which I was not, I figured that out very, very quickly. If you were one of the distance runners, the track meet was over, everybody had taken a shower, gone home, and they were having dinner, and the distance runners were still out there, going and going and going, and I just thought, oh my God, that is just the most miserable thing, because I needed enormous support and encouragement all the way, you know? That I thought, oh my God, you know, I mean, how could they just keep going and go in the rain, in the snow? They just keep going. How many miles did you do today? 26. Oh my, you know, and how many miles did you do today? 26. You know, first of all, I just thought they were the thinnest people I'd ever seen. And that just really irritated me. But it's easy to be excited at the start of the race or the beginning of a new job or the beginning of a new relationship, huh? Really, really easy to be excited, you know, but then we have to, you know, not quit because it's not the way you want it to be. You know, people always talk about if something or someone out here in their life were different. But you know, the science of mind is very, very clear. No, it has to be different in here first before it can ever be different out here. You know, Scripture teaches us to walk by faith, not by sight. And science of mind teaches us to expect the good. That's not a Pollyanna attitude. That's based in faith that there is good for us. And we ought to have it. That's what Emma Curtis Hopkins teaches us. So if you ask yourself, do I have to live like this, or do I have to live with this? I think the answer is a resounding no. No, you don't. Because the will of God for each of us is absolute good. So I think we have some input into the process, into the creation, into the furtherance and upgrade of our experience. So the old way they used to say this is what mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. All right? So if I can imagine a greater good for myself, if I can imagine, you know, greater peace in my relationship or greater fulfillment in my job, you know, and start to believe that, only then is it possible for me to achieve that. But, you know, we say that God can only give us the good if we believe it and can accept it and pray on it and have faith. And, oh, by the way, you got to move your feet a little bit. Right? You know, in Hebrews, in the Old Testament, it says, don't cast away your confidence, for payday is coming. But you know, so often we give up before payday. You know, we give up before payday. You know, that what if our payday is coming, but we're just too comfortable? You know, it's that thing about, you know, well, people are waiting for their ship to come in, and I always ask them first, well, have you sent one out? You know? And then it's like, is this the appointed place where you've agreed to meet the ship coming in? And by the way, you're thinking your ship is coming in, you're not even remotely near the water. You know, this is when we allow our good to get in the way of our better. Right? We allow our good to get in the way of the better. You know, that my life is not horrible, so this is good enough. I should just be happy. I should be satisfied. Why can't I just coast? You know? And I think, no, I think grateful, but never satisfied. Grateful is really important. Gratitude is a serious spiritual practice, something we must do every single day, but never really satisfied because there's always more God to be revealed. So you know, that's what we're saying. It's not like, it's not ungrateful, so it's grateful, but also knowing there's always more God to be revealed. There's always more of God's love to come forward in our life. There's always more of God's creative expression and abundance that could actually come forward into our life.